Week 4 game series with the San Francisco Giants continuing tonight for the Milwaukee Brewers. Game number 2. Hopefully for the Brew Crew, it goes much like game number 1. A good start to this series and what will be an 8-game road trip as the Brewers bats came alive late. Ryan Braun giving the Brewers the lead with a run-scoring single. Eric Kratz following with another RBI knock. Jesus Aguilar joined the party in the 9th. And then the big fly off the bat of Travis Shaw, and those were insurance runs to be sure, as the Brewers were able to hang on and win the opener of the series with the Giants and stay 2.5 games behind the Chicago Cubs in the National League Central Division race. Good evening from inside AT Park. Alongside Bill Schroeder, I'm Matt LePay. Sophia Minard is our reporter. And Rock, another day, another conversation about a roster move. We mentioned it yesterday. Brewers making a trade, getting Joakim Soria from the Chicago White Sox. But to activate him, you have to make a move. So Jacob Barnes goes down to AAA Colorado Springs. But certainly a boost for this back into the bullpen to get a veteran like Soria.
Yeah, already one of the strong points of this ball club, the Brewers bullpen, ranked 3rd in the National League. Get a guy that has closer's experience. He's been around a while. Unfortunately, Jacob Barnes, the odd man out. Second time he's been sent down. Needs to start work again on that cut pass ball. A little bit inconsistent his last few outings.
There's so much roster movement going on right now as we get closer and closer to the trade deadline. Now, from Soria's perspective, he goes from a ball club that's in the fairly early stages of rebuilding. And happy now to jump right in the middle of a pennant race.
Well, that's awesome to come to a contender team. I just found out yesterday that I was traded. Obviously, I was expecting something because of the trade rumors and all that. I was expecting something was going on, and I just like to be part of the Brewers organization. Well, at the beginning of my career, I was a starter, so I keep using it, and I don't try to eliminate pitches from me. And I think this is a good thing for me that I don't throw as hard as other guys, but I can move the ball around.
Well, Rock, this guy's been around the block a little bit. He's been in big moments time after time in his career. And that old saying, you can never have enough good arms, especially at the back end of the bullpen. He adds to it.
Yeah, you got a bunch of guys that can close games out. You know, Corey Knebel threw a lot yesterday. Might not be able to use him today. So you get Soria, he comes in. Look at the numbers for these guys in the bullpen, and you have a lot of guys that can do a lot of different things. You have 4 different guys that you can probably use to close. Hader, Jeffress, Corey Knebel, now Soria, who's got a lot of experience in that department. So what was already a strong suit on this ball club, very good bullpen, becomes even better, and it might even get better tomorrow when Matt Albers comes off the disabled list.
All right, the bullpen continues to build. Chase Anderson would like to give some of those guys a night off tonight. Looking for a long outing if he can as he squares off against Madison Bumgarner. Game 2 of the series coming up on Fox Sports Wisconsin. QP and Abraham. Voted best, rated best. QP and Abraham tell them you mean business. By Miller Lite, great taste and only 96 calories. And by Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs.
Back at AT Park here in beautiful San Francisco, where the Brewers continue their 8-game West Coast road trip. And a look at Game 2 starters as we continue this series between the Brewers and the Giants. For the Crew, it'll be Chase Anderson, a 6-7 record on the season with a 3.81 earned run average. And for the Giants, they'll turn to their ace, Madison Bumgarner, a 3-3 record on the season and a 3.19 earned run average. Good evening, everyone. Sophia Minert here at AT Park. And Chase Anderson is trying to finish off the month of July on a positive note. It's been a tough luck month for him. He's winless in 4 starts, but has certainly pitched better than what his results would indicate. He's given up just 5 earned runs in 20 1/3 innings. And so you look back at his stretch over the last 6 starts, the results have not been there, but Anderson has certainly pitched well. He's gone 1-1 with an earned run average just over 2 and 30 1/3 inning pitched. He's given up 4 home runs in that stretch, but 33 strikeouts as well. He's holding opponents to a .233 batting average. For Anderson, he's trying to clear up some first inning issues and feels good the rest of the way.
Yeah, I just told myself to compete regardless of the situation. That's kind of been something I've really tried to evolve into. To each year to get better at that aspect when things aren't going your way, to still just try to make pitches and throw strikes. And I was lucky enough to get out of that first inning with only 2 runs. For them, it's more of a bit of a veteran team, and it's still kind of that way with Longoria, McCutchen, Posey, Pence. I could continue to go on, but I think this team is they know how to have an approach as an offensive team. So you have to kind of combat that with your strengths.
The Brewers picked up the win in Game 1 of this series. Chase Anderson will take them out next, but we'll take a look at what's going on in the National League Central. The Cubs and Cardinals playing a weekend series. We'll get an update for you on the division standings coming up next.
miss. He's got good breaking stuff going early. Oh, strike three, and Anderson rings the bell again.
When you're facing Madison Bumgarner, you had better pitch well against them.
Bumgarner breaking out his best stuff against the Brewers' best hitter.
Another good pitching matchup, perhaps unfolding here tonight at AT Park on another blustery, cool night. There is our crew. Dan Keener is our producer. Renardo Lowe is our director. Game 2 of 4. Brewers getting a win last night, trying to make it 2 straight. And here is the Brewers batting order presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Keon Broxton hits a call at the top of the order tonight, followed by Christian Yelich and Jesus Aguilar. Ryan Braun hits cleanup. Saladino, Perez, Pena, Arcia, and Chase Anderson rounding out the Brew Crew batting order tonight. And that's the order that will face Mad Bum, Madison Bumgarner.
He's only made 9 starts. He started the year on the disabled list, a broken finger. His first start came on June 5th. 3.19 earned run average and that 3-3 record.
And the first pitch to Keon Broxton is a fastball in there for strike 1, and we are underway in San Francisco. Broxton getting the call tonight. Lorenzo Cain a night off. Keon at the top of the order, and he will patrol center field here this evening. He draws Bumgarner, one of the premier pitchers, quite obviously, and postseason stardom for Mad Bum, and injuries we mentioned this year. He has dealt with them now the past couple. That's been a departure. He's been a guy that generally takes every turn. Just start number 10 here in 2018.
Yeah, back-to-back years, 18-game winner. 2014, 2015. His career against the Brewers, 8 good ones, 7-2, 225 earned run average.
Has been very good in the home park and has not been touched up at all in the first inning this season. An interesting matchup there that has, as you probably know as a Brewers fan, that has been an issue for Chase Anderson, and Bumgarner's night begins with a backwards K as he catches Broxton looking.
Well, let's check out the Giants defensively. They have not been very sharp defensively so far this year. Got Hernandez, Duggar, and McCutcheon in the outfield. Longoria, Crawford on the left side. Hanson, Sandoval on the right side. Pablo Sandoval getting a start at first base. And Buster Posey behind home plate.
Sam Holbrook, the crew chief, will call balls and strikes. And the rest of your umpire crew here this evening for the second game of the series. And here is the red hot Christian Yelich, who stays red hot as he shoots one the other way in the left center field. Yelich digging for 2, and he will get there, and he ends the drama early in terms of his hitting streak. It is now at 11 games.
Yeah, just incredible. I mean, just seeing the baseball so well, hitting it where it's pitched. They pitch him away, he hits it hard into left. They pitch him in, he hits one down the line and right. And lefty versus lefty doesn't bother him at all. Fastball pretty straight, out away from Christian, and he hits a bullet out there into the gap in left center.
The bullet is right, 110 miles per hour off the bat of Christian Yelich, who is hitting well above 500 in the course of this now 11-game hitting streak. A 3-hit night last night, and a double to begin his night here this evening. And here is Jesus Aguilar.
And Yelich came into the game hitting .344 against lefties. That's incredible.
Yeah, that's just a terrific set of numbers for Yelich. And he has himself in scoring position for Aguilar, who drove in a run last night in the 9th inning. Couple of hits last evening for the Brew Crew. 72 RBIs now for Aguilar. There were insurance runs last night. There was a couple of runs in the 8th and 3 more in the 9th. Yelich started the 9th inning rally with a double. Aguilar dropped a single to score Yelich, and then Travis Shaw followed with a laser over the bricks in right field.
Yeah, 5 runs, 7 hits, last 2 innings in last night's game.
A ball, a strike to Aguilar.
Well, Bumgarner cruising speed with a fastball about 91 these days. He's not throwing very hard, or at least as hard as he used to. He'll throw the cutter. He'll throw a lot of those. They'll look like a slider. Curveball, changeup. And all kinds of control problems his last time out. 6 walks.
So uncharacteristic of Bumgarner, and he's swinging a miss from Aguilar to even the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Man, that cut fastball that we're talking about, you see the rotation on it. Not a huge break, but just enough as it gets to the hitting zone.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Not only we've talked about Bumgarner's durability, which has the script has changed the last couple of years, but when he gets the ball, he will give you his share of innings. That last outing snapped that long streak. He had 89 straight starts of working at least 5 innings. That goes back more than 3 calendar years. As Aguilar sends one down the line, Longoria with a long throw for out number 2 as Yelich will move to third.
Yeah, nice play. The toughest part of that play was the throw. Kind of set himself and knew he had time with Aguilar running down the line. And Yelich got a good jump on that one, knowing that Longoria is behind the bag, able to get to third base. But a good throw by Longoria to get Aguilar.
Now, 2 men out for Ryan Braun. Braun came off the bench last night. That 8th inning RBI single gave the Brewers the lead for good. Snapped a 2-2 ball game. Brewers tacked on another run in that inning. RBI chance now for Ryan. He has 36 on the year. Let's look at that curveball from Bumgarner.
Yeah, he'll throw the curveball. He'll throw the changeups to right-handed batters. Basically stays, fastball cutter to lefties.
I mentioned this last night. Braun's company that he keeps in terms of slugging percentage here at AT Park. 18 runs batted in now through 26 games here in his career.
Well, not too many ballparks that he has had trouble in. Let's put it that way.
That is very true. And we talk about it a lot when he visits other NL Central ballparks, but it extends well beyond that. It was a big moment for the team last night with that 8th inning RBI and a liner right into the glove of Alan Hansen, and that'll do it for the Brewers. They strand Yelich at third. Chase Anderson ready to go to work. stranded at third as the Brewers do not score in the top half of the first inning here tonight. Now the Giants come calling, and here is their batting order presented by Potawatomi. Steven Duggar at the top. Alan Hansen gets the call at second. He hits second. Andrew McCutchen follows. Buster Posey in the cleanup spot. Brandon Crawford, Evan Longoria, Pablo Sandoval, Gorkys Hernandez, and Madison Bumgarner rounding out the San Francisco batting order, and that's the look that will face Chase Anderson.
Yeah, Chase having a pretty good month of July, an 0-1 record, but a 221 earned run average in 4 starts this month. He's been very good on the road this year. 9 starts away from Miller Park, 266 earned run average. No decision his last time out against the Dodgers.
Chase ready to go to work and hoping to continue a good trend that he has had away from Miller Park. He's pitched pretty well this season, and we'll see how this first inning fares for Anderson as well. Duggar back in there at center field tonight, and he takes a look at strike one. Duggar had a couple of hits last night for the Giants. They were a singles hitting team for most of the ball game. A couple of ninth inning doubles. Pounded out 10 hits, but stranded 8 runners in the game last night as Anderson jumps ahead in the count of ball 2 strikes.
Yeah, location paramount for Chase in the first inning. He's really struggled in the first inning this year. And after that first inning, he seems to be able to settle down. Last time out, only 4 innings. Pitch count way up there in the first inning. Gave up a couple of runs in the first, but then, the final 3 not too bad. But pitch count got away from him quickly.
Change up there to get Duggar for out number 1.
Yeah, good change up is right. It's always an important pitch for him. Let's check out our pizza ranch for the win. We talked about first inning for Chase Anderson. He's got a 765 earned run average in the first inning. Much better after that. He's given up 17 earned runs in 20 innings. The wind's blowing out here at AT Park, and that should mean some extra offense, you would think. And Brewers have to get that Bumgarner cutter in the strike zone. Most of the time it is down and in to right-handers. Make him throw it for strikes.
Alan Hansen pops it up. Aguilar takes charge for out number 2.
Well, let's check out the Brewers defensively. Got Braun, Broxton, and Yelich in the outfield. No Lorenzo Cain, just a day off. He had a rough day yesterday with a couple of bangs and bruises. Saladino, Arcia, Perez, and Aguilar, and Manny Pini behind home plate.
Manny getting the call tonight. Eric Kratz handled the duties last night. 2 up, 2 down in the Giants half of the first for Andrew McCutchen. Well, Rock, what you're talking about with Chase through the first inning.
11 walks in there in the first inning.
This will be a clean one on a ground ball to Aguilar. So a good start for Chase Anderson tonight as he sets him down 1, 2, 3. Off and running in San Francisco. We move to the second.
anniversary on Saturday, August 4th against the Rockies. Each special ticket package includes a Brewers Great Hambino bobblehead. Plus, all fans can enjoy the viewing of the Sandlot after the game. Learn more at brewers.com/theme night.
Yeah, it'll be a fun night. Tyler Saladino leading things off here for the Brew Crew. Every time I hear the promo, I just think of the video that a number of the Brewers were involved in back in spring training. Just a hilarious spot-on reenactment. Scene in that movie.
One of the best baseball movies.
Oh, yeah.
Good stuff.
Saladino, Perez, and Pena here in the second inning. Another chance for Alan Hansen. Out number one. Here's Hernan Perez. Back in the lineup tonight. Also trying to load up as many right-handers as he can. The exception is an understandable one. What we talked about with Christian Yelich.
Yep, you got Shaw, Miller, and Thames all on the bench. Eric Kratz and Lorenzo Cain right-handers.
Five-man bench for the Brewers manager again here tonight. Used to never really feel the need to say that, but now you do. A ball, a strike to Hernan Perez. Brewers with a first inning threat. Yelich was left stranded at third after a one-out double.
Another line drive out for Ryan Braun. How many is that for him, right?
Boy.
Hit it right on the nose, but Hansen positioned perfectly. He didn't have to move.
This happened time and again with Braun this season. Curveball that is sent in the direction of Brandon Crawford. Messing up the line is Perez, but the throw and plenty of time for out number two.
Very consistent shortstop out there. He's committed 9 errors, but had a tricky hop right there that he was able to handle and still get the out at first base. Plays every day, gives you good at bat. Very underrated player.
Here's Manny Pena. Two up, two down here in the second for Milwaukee.
And a fastball for Bumgarner used to be 93, 94 consistently. Velocity's down right now, but he still knows how to pitch. He uses all 4 of his pitches fairly effectively. The cutter is his best.
Four-time All-Star consecutive seasons, in fact, for Bumgarner. 2013 through 16, and then much documented injuries the past couple of years. The dirt bike mishap last year. Pena pops this one up, and Hansen will call for it. The wind is blowing, but Hansen stays with it. A 1-2-3 inning for the Giants left-hander. We're an inning and 1/2, no score.
Back on a cool night here in San Francisco. No score between the Brewers and the Giants as we head here to the second. Keon Broxton in at center field for Lorenzo Cain. Remember, Lorenzo Cain last night jammed his right wrist on a stolen base attempt, and then also in an at-bat later in the game was dealing with a little bit of a left knee injury. So Cain a little bit banged up. He is out of the lineup tonight, but both Cain and Craig Counsell said before the game it's nothing serious with him. Counsell went on to say that he was planning to give Cain a day off on Sunday, but with dealing with a few injuries last night, they decided that today would be a good day for him against the lefty with Madison Bumgarner. So nothing serious for Cain, just dealing with some bumps and bruises. He'll likely be back in there tomorrow.
Yeah, that's encouraging news, Sophia. I'm sure Brewers fans breathing a little easier, not to mention the manager and Lorenzo himself, but that wrist and then the knee last night as Buster Posey leads things off.
Man, we were down around the batting cage. We saw Lorenzo taking some hacks, and we looked at each other and said, he's all right.
He's fine. Chatty as ever.
Chatty as ever, having a good time. Yeah, he'll be back in there tomorrow.
In the meantime, an opportunity tonight for Broxton.
There's certain guys on the team, and every team has these guys. When you're without those certain players, it just really disrupts everything.
Yeah.
And Lorenzo Cain's one of them. Yeah, give them a day off every now and again, but when they're out for a good chunk of time, I mean, it does affect what goes on out there. He has already spent some time on the disabled list.
Figure his value, what he brings at the plate. 10 assists from Cain, still leads the National League in that department. This is what we're talking about in case you didn't check it out last night. Here's the first little bump or bruise, landed pretty hard in that right wrist.
Yeah, head first slide, took the brunt of the weight, and then kind of lost his balance and looked like he tweaked his knee. But all is fine.
Posey lines one into right field, long run Yelich, and he'll have to play it off the wall. And the Giants catcher will begin the second with a sliding double.
Well, nothing wrong with the batting average for Buster Posey. He's up around, mid 280s. Normally a 300 hitter, but the power number is very much down for Posey. Yeah, good at bat there on a fastball up and away. Chase missed his spot, supposed to be down. Able to just tuck it inside that right field line. Some kind of hitter, Buster Posey.
A couple of hits last night, walked as well. Brandon Crawford will be settling in now. Little part of the order did a little damage last night for San Francisco as Crawford takes a look at a strike. 3-2 with a couple of hits last night. All-star this year. Here's the Giants shortstop. That is hit well, headed to the gap in right center field, a base hit. Posey being waved around, and back-to-back doubles gets San Francisco on the board.
Two pitches up in the strike zone. One to Posey away, and Crawford able to go on top of one and hit it out there into the gap. Well, a clean first inning for Chase Anderson, not so much the second. Change up, it was on the corner but up in the zone. That gives Crawford a chance to barrel it up, and he does just that. And Buster Posey, first run of the game. Location's such a big deal for Chase Anderson. That changeup's got to be down. It's got to be on the corner, but down. That was up.
Here's Evan Longoria. This is his second game back off the disabled list. He'll play a pitch in the middle of June. Broke the bone in his wrist, cost him more than a month. Had a couple of hits last night, did Longoria.
Counting on a lot of power out of Evan Longoria. He did just that in Tampa. Much different ballpark here, though.
The Ball to strike. Second inning. The trouble inning so far here for Chase. Put him down in order in the first. Doubles from Posey and Crawford to begin the second. In the air to right field. Room for Yelich. Crawford will tag. On his way to third, and he'll get there. Productive out off the bat of Evan Longoria. Hey, tomorrow one of baseball's best rivalries is renewed. The Cubs take on the St. Louis Cardinals. Coverage starts at 2:30 Central on FS1, or you can stream it live on the Fox Sports app.
The Cardinals beating the Cubs right now, 5-2 in the seventh.
Yes, sir. Cubs with that 2.5 game lead over the Brewers. Cardinals a 500 club right now. Here is Pablo Sandoval. Brandon Crawford, the runner at third. Infield in for Milwaukee. Curveball requires a block from Pena. Sandoval with 9 homers. He has driven in 38 as he returns to the Giants franchise, where he had great seasons, postseason stardom, World Series MVP, another great World Series against the Kansas City Royals. And a ground ball to Perez. He'll look back. Crawford. That's out number 2.
Yeah, good pitch, eating him up inside. Threw a curveball to get a strike, and then eats him up on the fastball, up and in. And Sandoval grounds out weakly to second base.
Two away as Anderson tries to minimize the damage. He will face Gorkys Hernandez. Came off the bench last night in left field here tonight.
Yeah, be careful here. You got the pitcher on deck, albeit a pretty good hitting pitcher. Off to a bit of a slow start with at the plate this year is Bumgarner.
1-0 pitch to Hernandez. Carry out of play. He has 17 career home runs, the on-deck hitter, to Rock's Point. Bumgarner.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. Break-even pitch to Hernandez. In on the hands. 30-year-old Hernandez putting together a good year. Mentioned very well traveled in his time. We thought last night's ball game. A ton of games in the minor leagues, close to 1,100. Chase ready with a 1-2 pitch. He's hit well into center field. On the run is Broxton. He'll catch up with it. Near the deepest part of the yard in the area of Triples Alley. Keon runs it down. Giants open up the scoring here tonight.
1-0 lead, and be the first to know all the latest Brewers news with MLB At Bat, the official app of the Brewers. With At Bat, you get breaking news, live radio broadcasts, and lineup updates sent right to your fingertips. Download At Bat today, free for your smartphone or tablet.
A lot of news to catch up on every day in this game of baseball, especially this time of year as we get closer and closer to the non-waiver trade deadline. Orlando Arcia leads things off.
Coming up Tuesday, July 31st. What will the Brewers do?
Yeah,
They've already made one move, getting Soria.
It's the fun part of the game, and I think from the perspective of being a Brewers fan, you know, it's easy for us to say, hey, it'd be great to get this guy, that guy, but it's fun to see the Brewers in this position of an upgrade instead of as recently as 2 years ago, where they were moving pieces such as Jonathan Lucroy.
Right.
Team in the thick of it.
And last year they picked up Swarzak, they picked up Walker. Both of those guys had an impact.
And the Neil Walker acquisition, it's a great point because that was in August. That was past the non-waiver deadline portion. It's not as easy, but it's still doable after July 31st. And clearly Swarzak a few days before the deadline last year, and he helped us walk one.
Yeah, he did.
Orlando Arcia hanging in there, a ball, 2 strikes, looking for his first hit since being recalled from Colorado Springs, hitless in 5 at-bats, but you need to peel a layer or 2 off the onion. The first 3 at-bats were not pretty, but hit the ball hard his final 2 at-bats last night. A little chopper to Brandon Crawford here. 1 away. Well, it is certainly an enjoyable time to be a baseball fan, and in particular a Brewers fan, with your team in the mix and all the trade talk going on. A little bit more movement today. Teams across baseball. There's the Cubs making the move and getting that officially done now with the acquisition of Cole Hamels.
Yeah.
There is your official countdown clock to the non-waiver trade deadline right there.
All exciting times. You know, Assistant General Manager Matt Arnold on the trip here in San Francisco with the Brewers, and he'll be heading back to Milwaukee after this series. Guys are going to dig in, hunker down to see what they can do at the last minute before that deadline.
Another chance for Crawford on the charge. 2 away. I was joking with Matt earlier this afternoon, and I think he and David Stearns and front office personnel all across baseball, you get a good solid hour or so of sleep every night, right? That phone is buzzing constantly.
Yeah.
Craig Counsell playing with his group right now, and a team that is right in the thick, certainly, of the division race, and still the best position of the wild card candidates right now. Would be hosting, if the season ended today, would be hosting a wild card matchup.
Have all the contending teams calling all the same other teams, right, that are trying to sell right now. So
Yeah.
You know, fire sales going on, and it's just a matter of whether you're willing to give up enough to bring that player over to your side.
There's Keon Broxton dropping one into right field, a base hit. He can fly, and he's going to take this into second base. Broxton with a 2-out double for Milwaukee.
They're going to fight that one off, dump it down the line. All a matter of making contact for Broxton. If he's able to do that consistently, and he's got enough speed to have an impact out there offensively. Let's see where this pitch ends up. In off the plate, he fights it off, but he does put it in play, dumps it down the line, and then he gets a 2-out double.
Both of the Brewers' hits off Bumgarner are doubles. Christian Yelich had a double in the first inning.
Doubled on the first pitch, a fastball.
He has 23 of his last 43 in the course of this hitting streak. OPS right on the edge of 900.
Talked about the success that Yelich has had against lefties. 344 coming in. On the flip side of that, Madison Bumgarner against left-handers, a 121 batting average.
A little strength versus strength right here.
Right? Who's going to budge?
That's
and so
right.
far it's been Christian Yelich winning the first battle.
2-0 pitch. Rolls one to Hansen. And that'll do it for the Brewers in the third. Broxton is stranded. We're through 2 1/2 in San Francisco. The Giants with the 1-run lead.
At Fenway Park playing the Red Sox, Chris Sale on the mound, and all he did in the top of the first inning was strike out the side, making him the first in the majors to 200 strikeouts. Mitch Garver was strikeout victim number 200 of the season for the Twins, and some impressive stats here for Chris Sale. It's his 6th consecutive season with 200 strikeouts or more, and he beat even last year's record. Last year for him, it took him 141 in a third innings. This year he did it in just 136. So impressive stuff for Chris Sale. Just continues to get even better.
Yeah, for a team that now leads the Yankees by 5 games in the AL East too. 72 and 33 are the Red Sox. Here's how it looks. We've got 2 teams in great position, obviously, for the postseason.
Aaron Judge out now for the Yankees.
Yeah. Hit by a pitch last night.
Does Chris Sale remind you anybody with the Brewers? I mean, I'm watching that video there, and it's like, that's Josh Hader without the hair.
A ball, 2 strikes to Bumgarner, and Anderson elevates for out number 1. You know, one of the first people I heard talk about that too, about in the comparison between Hader and Chris Sale, was a guy named Schroeder, Billy, right? Your son.
Yeah, right.
He just really loves his ball. And he said, he slings it like Sale.
Watches every game. Hey, bud, how you doing tonight?
Absolutely.
Fort Riley down in Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't miss a game. He texts me some tidbits every now and again.
Knows his ball. There's a ground ball to Arcia for out number 2. You see Orlando back with the big club. So he can get that bat squared away. Chase Anderson retired the side in order in the first. A couple of doubles stung him in the second. Posey and Crawford went back to back. Here's Alan Hansen. Popped up to Aguilar in the first inning. Chase lands the curveball.
Speed stuff. He's been able to throw for strikes, getting it over. He's managed his pitch count pretty well. He's had 2 consecutive hitters to start off the second where he left some pitches up.
This is lifted into left field. That's going to drop in front of Braun and behind Saladino. And Alan Hansen will have himself a 2-out double.
Well, still a pretty good pitch by Chase, but Hansen able to just dump it down the line. Guy can scoot, Alan Hansen. He was thinking about going to third base. There was nobody there originally, but Perez was on his horse to get there before Hansen held him at second. Look at Garcia, how quickly he gets out there. No man's land, but look who ends up picking it up. Orlando Arcia. Guy's all over the field.
He really is. He thinks he should get everything. And he gets to most. We talked about the nature of last night's game being a ton of singles. They're combined 5 hits tonight, 3 for the Giants, 2 for the Brewers. Nothing but doubles so far. Here is Andrew McCutchen. Ground ball over to Hernan Perez. That'll do it for the Giants in inning number 3. Double is wasted. It's still 1-0 San Francisco.
Pretty well. Gone! Way out of here. And Aguilar into right field. He's watching. It's flying. It's gone. A home run to win it.
The man has a knack for big home runs, and that's where you see where he ranks in the National League. Still tied at the top. 72 RBIs, hot on the heels of the leaders in the National League. And to think he actually, the homestand was a tough one for him, but he's still the best around in terms of slugging percentage.
1 hit on the homestand, but it was a homer.
Jesus leads off here in the 4th against Mad Bum, who starts Aguilar with a changeup. Nolan Arenado and Bryce Harper also with 25 home runs. And Aguilar will lift one into right field. Andrew McCutchen shy of the warning track.
Wind's blowing that baseball around quite a bit tonight. I mean, everything in the air. Guys aren't on their heels, that's for sure. Staying on their toes. Wind's blowing straight out to center field tonight.
Right around 60 degrees at first pitch. Here's Ryan Braun. That should hit the ball hard in the first inning, but right to the second baseman, Alan Hansen. He does have a couple of career home runs against Bumgarner.
he's always hit lefties extremely well in his career.
That's what we're talking about with Ronnie hitting the ball hard and the best around in terms of the average exit velocity. Which is, you hit the ball hard consistently. That generally translates to some pretty good numbers offensively, but average of 234, on base percentage 280. He's hit into a lot of bad luck,
including tonight. Well, that's the way it goes. Sometimes, you hit them hard and you make out. Sometimes you get them off the handle and you dump one into right.
One of the few times I saw him be animated was in Colorado too, and we're going back to about mid-May. The next day he bounced back, and he would tell you that, in theory it's supposed to even out, but he's been around long enough to know it doesn't necessarily work that way.
He's had a share of infield hits.
Yeah.
I mean, little dribblers in front of home plate. I think those don't even come close to the number of line drive outs he's had.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. And another liner. And the story continues as Longoria flags it down for the second out of the inning.
And once again, that's two tonight. 103 exit velocity for Ryan, and Longoria able to flag it down. Check it out. Bullet. Able to get it. That was a cutter.
Yeah. Don't believe it, he says. It's happened again. Here's Tyler Saladino. Grounded out to Hansen. That began the second inning.
An interesting booth here, partner, huh? You got the fans, they come right up there. There's a Brewers fan just now, just kind of shouted up here. Another line drive for Brawny and nothing to show for it.
He's exactly right.
Maybe I should give him the headset.
He's auditioning very well.
That's a great ballpark, and that's one of the great things about this place. I mean, people come walking up here, and you can see him. That guy right there, right in front of that sign.
Yeah.
That's what he said. Another hard hit ball, nothing to show for it.
And he is exactly right.
Yeah.
The 1-2 to Saladino. And Bumgarner with a strikeout as he retires the side in order for the second time tonight. Still 1-0 in the fourth. Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. By Ascension, coming together to get Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. By Ascension, coming together to give healthcare a better name. We are Ascension. And by Wisconsin Dells, the water park capital of the world.
Juan Marichal.
No one has a delivery quite like that anymore, right?
Got to be flexible for that, right?
That was.
They've got 5 player statues around this ballpark. McCovey, Mays, Cepeda, Marichal, and Gaylord Perry.
There you go. That was good. I just asked you that off air. I said, how many statues I have here?
I had to ask somebody.
Okay, well, you got it quickly.
I remembered who it was. I mean, they told me 2 seconds ago, so. Terrific memory.
It's outstanding. A ball, a strike to Buster Posey. He doubled leading off the second, came around to score, and a fly ball out to Yelich. And he's out number 1. You might notice, by the way, there's that fly ball there. There's the coloring of the turf here is a little uneven out in right field, a little bit in right center as well. They recently had a rugby event here, the World Cup Rugby Sevens. It's 7-on-7. You have 7-minute halves, right? I think that's how that goes. But there were 30 teams, 24 men, 16 women's teams. So they had a lot going on here. So the grounds crew has been very busy in recent days.
Yeah, a lot of people hitting the deck, right? Tearing up the turf.
Mm-hmm.
You ever play rugby?
I'm trying to think. Intramural college? No.
No.
No. You?
No.
Looks like it would hurt.
Yeah, it's football with no pads.
Yeah, exactly. They laugh at the football guys.
Right.
Those pads. We need a helmet for them.
No helmet, no nothing.
Ball, a strike to Brandon Crawford. Mentioned the All-Star appearance for Crawford. He has a couple of them now. He was an All-Star back in 2015 as well. He pops this one up. Saladino in foul territory. 2 away.
Yeah, much better location back to back. You know, Posey, Crawford made mistakes last time up. Cost them a run. Much better getting in on their hands this time. Hey, join the Brewers on Friday, August 3rd for African American Heritage Night presented by Aurora Healthcare. Along with a seat to the game, each special ticket package includes a Brewers snapback hat and a special gray and blue color scheme. Learn more at brewers.com/theme nights.
2 away, base is empty for Evan Longoria. A fly ball to Yelich back in the second inning. Fastball from Anderson. All those years with the Rays. Evan Longoria. First time around now with the Giants. Came over for a couple of minor leaguers as well as Christian Arroyo and Denard Span.
2 big acquisitions, 2 big bats that the Giants picked up. Longoria, McCutchen.
Three balls, 1 strike. Longoria, the franchise leader with the Rays in any number of categories. Anderson with a payoff pitch, and he'll need another one. You see, not long ago, one of the prolific power hitters, 36 bombs. Not half bad last year either with the run production, driving in 86. And he pops this one up. He's going to take it. Aguilar will flag it down. I got it, you take it. Perez was there as well. Had it all the way, says Aguilar. A 1-2-3 inning for Chase Anderson. And it's still 1-0. Giants move forward. Lead the Brewers as we move to the top half of inning number 5. Hernan Perez will lead off against Madison Bumgarner. Couple of hits through the first 4 for Milwaukee. A double from Yelich, a double from Broxton. The injury problems of Bumgarner last year off the field with the dirt bike accident. This year with the broken finger he suffered in his final appearance in spring training. It kept him out until June 5th. Last year he was able to start just 17 times, but he'd been very reliable 6 straight years of at least 31 starts for Bumgarner. 28-year-old North Carolina native.
Big star in the World Series.
MVP, in fact, in 2014. Matter of fact, his World Series numbers are just beyond good, or even beyond great. 4-0. 0.25 his earned run average.
Right.
There's Longoria. That's out number 1. Talking about with Mad Bum, these are the overall numbers, and it gets even better when you get into postseason for him. And even, you know, you have the record the last couple of years, but with pitchers, you have to look beyond that. That ERA 3.28, that would suggest that he should have a better record.
In 2014 in the World Series, he threw 21 innings. Isn't that amazing?
Including a 5-inning save
right
in Game 7 against the Royals. I mean, you wonder what he had left in the tank. He had enough.
Nothing after that.
The postseason numbers in his career: 8-3, 2.11 ERA. It was good. We saw the graphic. As good as he has been in the regular season, he really cranks it up when you get into the month of October. And he catches Pena looking for the second out here in the 5th.
I mean, might not be throwing as hard as he used to, but he still can pitch. He puts the ball where he wants it. Yeah, tonight he's been throwing that cutter for strikes. That one's a backdoor on the outside corner. And the scouting report on Bumgarner is, most of the time that cutter is not thrown for a strike. So if you lay off of it, you have a pretty good chance to be able to sit on a fastball.
Arcia in the hole, and that gets through, a base hit. Good sign for Orlando Arcia. That's his first hit back now. This is his second game after being called back up from Colorado Springs.
Just needs some early success. Get some hits, stay on the baseball. Did a good job waiting back on that cutter. Was down but over the middle of the plate and able to sneak it into left field.
First 5 hits of the night between these two teams, doubles, and now a single from Arcia and Chase Anderson at the plate. He has 3 hits on the year. It's a piece, but he's down 2 strikes and nothing. Pretty good pitching both sides going on here tonight. Giants getting their run in the second inning. And that will do it as a struck 3 and strikeout number 4 for Madison Bumgarner. We are halfway through game 2 of the series. Still 1-0 Giants. Baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lights. Great taste at only 96 calories. By Toyota. Let's go places. And by Sling TV. Live TV you love, only better. Beautiful night, beautiful ballpark. And some pretty good pitching going on. 1-0 Giants as we move to the bottom half of inning number 5. Chase Anderson will face the 7, 8, and 9 hitters in the San Francisco order.
And he's got a good command tonight on all of his pitches. The curveball for strikes, changeup's been down, except for back-to-back hitters. He's been spot on. Back-to-back doubles to lead off the second inning, the only run of the game.
Pablo Sandoval will lead off. Rocky mentioned it last night, similar to Jeremy Jeffress with the Brewers. Sandoval just finds that comfort level here. Another postseason star in the World Championship run of the Giants. And Just didn't unfold well for him in Boston.
He just couldn't get it together.
A liner to right and a late break for Yelich, but gets there with a sliding catch. Out number one. We're watching Chase Anderson work, another Brewers starter trying to get back into the fray. Let's get an update on Zach Davies as we check in with Sophia Minute.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, last night we updated you on Zach Davies, who had an MRI, which revealed no further structural damage on his back, still just dealing with back tightness, but a good outing for him tonight. He made a minor league rehab assignment with the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. He would go 2 1/3 innings, did not give up a hit, a run, or a walk, had 4 strikeouts in there, 30 pitches for Davies, 21 of those for strikes. So Craig Counsell saying it was good to get him back on the mound, and they're just going to have to continue to move him forward. He had a good day of catch the other day, so a good first minor league rehab appearance for Davies. We'll see what's next for him. We'll get more information later.
And sometimes those MRIs, I mean, they don't show anything, and sometimes that's all a player needs to hear. I don't have anything structural. I'm not going to hurt myself. You just got to press on every now and again, even if you have to experience a little bit of discomfort. You got to play through it every now and again, especially when the MRIs and the tests show or reveal that you really don't have any. You can't hurt it any further.
It'll be an important piece of this ball club. We hear all about the trade speculation. Brewers obviously making a move to boost the bullpen yesterday, getting Joakim Soria. But let's not forget about guys who have been banged up. We've seen Wade Miley catch a little rhythm after being on the 60-day DL, and Zach Davies can continue to progress and get back into the rotation. That's a boost as well.
Yeah. Joakim Soria activated today. Jacob Barnes sent down to AAA once again.
And when the cutter is right for Jacob, he is one tough customer to face, but when he scuffles with it, and we saw it earlier in the season as well, and was able to get things straightened up for a time. Payoff pitch to Gorkys Hernandez, lined into right field. Yelich back, and he'll play it off the wall, and actually it'll be blocked in a hard rebound off the bricks. And a double for Gorkys Hernandez with one out.
Man, that's a tough wall to play out there if you're a right fielder. You got a lot of things that can have an effect on any kind of bounce. You got the chain link fence down below, then you have the scoreboard. You got those angles on the bricks. Good luck trying to play and figure where that ball is going to end up, and that pitch up and away, and Hernandez, a good job driving it to the opposite field. That ball carried pretty well. It hit smack dab in the middle of those bricks, and a good job backing up by Groxton.
The Giants continue into double or nothing mode. 4 hits, all doubles. Here's Madison Bumgarner. Chase starts him with a curve that catches the inside edge.
That right field can be a nightmare for an outfielder. You got that alley out there, Triples Alley at 421. Out in right center, all kinds of different angles, different textures of the wall.
That's close. Hernandez almost got himself picked off.
I would imagine even if you play here every day, it doesn't help you too much. Depending on what it hits, that's going to determine how that ball is going to come off the fence. Yep, he gets back, barely.
Yeah, you got a lot going on out there in right field. You have to deal with how that ball caroms. 1 strike pitch to Bumgarner. And this will be routine for Yelich. Tagging is Hernandez, and he'll advance to third. There are 2 men out. Bumgarner advances the runner. Back to the top of the order for Steven Duggar. Inning number 5, but moments like these can be very important. The way Bumgarner is pitching, a 1-0 ball game. They got a runner at third.
Yeah, both of these pitchers, pitch counts in really good shape. They're both very effective, managing pitch counts nicely. Good play by Pena right there. That ball almost hit Duggar. Almost got him right in the knee. Good play by Manny. Cutter.
I mentioned that pitch count with Chase. Again, we remind you in his last start, he needed 104 pitches to get through 4 innings against the Dodgers.
Yeah, about half of those in the first inning.
This with a curve, 2 balls, no strikes to Duggar. Struck out in the first, grounded to short in the third. Two-zero pitch.
Change-up. Got good confidence in that pitch tonight. Change-up on the 2-0 count.
Hernandez doubled, advanced on the Bumgarner fly ball. Back to the fastball from Anderson. That evens the count. .66 is Chase's ERA on the road coming into this start tonight. This is his 10th start away from Miller Park. 21st start overall. 2-2 pitch. Picked him up and in.
It really has been effective inside tonight. I mean, doing a good job. Hasn't left one out over the plate. The 2 pitches that he got hurt on in the second inning were both trying to go away from hitters. Left them both up. A fastball to Posey, a change up to Crawford.
Getting ready again for the 2-2 pitch. At 94, he missed inside. Alan Hansen is on deck, the second baseman.
First base open. Let's see if he throws a change up here.
Now visit now as Manny makes his way out. It's the first one of the night. Debut season for Duggar, the 24-year-old, trying to pick up Gorky's Hernandez. Here's the 3-2. Sixth-round draft pick was Duggar out of Clemson, selected back in 2015. Out of injury issues last year, elbow trouble, hamstring strain. Just a good chunk of minor league ball last season, and he goes down swinging on a changeup from Chase Anderson to retire the side. That's a big moment in this game as he keeps his team within a run. Giants leave a runner at third. duel going on tonight. 1-0. The Giants leading the Brewers. Madison Bumgarner and Chase Anderson hooking up in a good one. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, good stuff from both of them. The cutter from Bumgarner, the fastball changeup combination from Chase. Boy, what a nice job of pitching to Duggar, to end that 5th inning. Fastball's in, ended up getting him on a full count pitch on the changeup. Well done.
Bloxton leading off here, top of the order for Milwaukee. Notice in those lines, no one has been walked here tonight. Bumgarner coming off that 6-walk outing. Bloxton doubled in the 3rd inning. The 1-1 pitch. And the curve is away. Just checking us out. Keon getting the call in center field tonight. Lorenzo Cain gets the night off, but as Sophia reported a while ago, Lorenzo's fine. It's a ground ball and another long throw required from Longoria. Knew it won't get there. Unable to pick it is Sandoval, but Keon busting up the line. That'll be a base hit.
Yeah, I mean, he's busting it down that line and able to beat it. I don't even think they get him if Sandoval holds on to it. Boy, he can run. Boy, he gets out of that box and is at full speed very quickly. Tricky hop for Longoria. And yeah, I think he's safe even if Sandoval's able to catch that short hop. That's what speed does to you. Makes you be a little bit too quick and wasn't able to get off a good throw.
That's good for Bloxton now. A couple of hits for the Brewers leadoff man here tonight. Christian Yelich, his night at the plate, presented by Wendy's, a 1st inning double that now gives him an 11-game hitting streak, grounded to 2nd in the 3rd inning.
The first time the Brewers got their leadoff hitter on tonight.
Yelich was 3 for 5 last night. One of those 3, a home run to dead center field, his 14th of the year. Also singled and doubled in last night's win. Matter of fact, the 8th and 9th inning hits started rallies for Milwaukee. Bumgarner missing downstairs. 3 balls, no strikes.
That home run last night in the 6th tied it up. Leadoff home run.
And that is a 4-pitch walk as he just missed off the edge. Brewers have him at 1st and 2nd with nobody out in the 6th.
Yeah, Bumgarner didn't like that call. He's not afraid to come up on an umpire every now and again. He's had that reputation, but on a 3-0 count, Sam Holbrook not going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Tough dude. Farms of North Carolina. Hickory, North Carolina is where Bumgarner is from. Here is Jesus Aguilar. Runners bluff as though they'll go as Jesus takes the strike. Let's check out the Powerball home run leaderboard with Jesus at the plate. 25 leading this team, tied for the lead in the National League. In fact, Travis Shaw hit number 19 last night. Yelich number 14 last night. Eric Thames and Ryan Braun rounding out our Powerball home run leaderboard.
Yeah, Brewers with 130 home runs on the year.
Bumgarner has served up 5 so far this season. And it's 2 strikes and nothing to Aguilar. '72 RBIs to go with his 25 home runs. Two-strike pitch. Say it every time because it's true. Jesus, a very, very dangerous two-strike hitter.
Nearly half of his home runs have come with 2 strikes.
You see it. Average has taken a bit of a hit of late, but still very healthy. Two balls, 2 strikes to Aguilar. Giants in their game notes, they have a little nugget on Bumgarner about the effectiveness of his curveball. It's been a big out pitch for him. Opponent's 2 for 44. With at-bats ending with the bender, and there's one right there. A little tapper charging as Crawford. The play will be at first. It's a productive out for Aguilar. You think of a guy like him driving one to the gap, but you now have runners at second and third with 1 out.
Yep, his ability to wade back and just get a piece of it. Yeah, you're making that. You want to advance base run. Is able to get them both over for Ryan Braun. High fives in the dugout. There's that curveball you just talked about. He left it up in the zone. Aguilar able to get enough of it to advance the runners. Talked about small ball. It was an important part of last night's game.
Yeah, it really was. It can exist. Runners in scoring position as Council's team trying to scratch here in the 6th against Bumgarner. Chance here for Braun. Couple of line drives that have been snagged at 1 to second, 1 to third. And a ground ball here to Hansen. This is going to tie the game. It's out number 2, but an RBI for Braun, and it's a 1-1 ball game.
Yeah, good job by the Brewers to manufacture a run. The Giants had the infield back. All Brian had to do is put it in play on the ground and get a run. That's what he did. So the leadoff base hit by Broxton, able to come around to score. Kind of things you have to do in ballparks like this, here and in Los Angeles.
Yeah, no doubt, especially against a pitcher like this, just making everything more difficult. Here's Tyler Saladino.
You see good pitching in big ballparks. You can't rely on the home run ball.
Brewers did a little of both last night. They were able to string some hits together in that 8th inning. And there's that cutter.
And see where it ends up, way off the inside corner. Looks good out of his hand, but by the time he gets to the hitting zone, way out of the strike zone most of the time.
A ball, a strike with Yelich, the runner at third.
Talking to Darnell Coles, the Brewers hitting coach before the game, and his point was if we lay off that cutter out of the zone, we're going to be all right. But not too many hitters are able to do it because it looks so good coming in, but it just disappears right at the last minute. It's got a very late, quick break to it. And the fact that he hides the ball well, slings it. And it turns his back on it. You don't see it until it's out of his hand. Very similar to what Josh Hader has going on.
Crossfire look, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Struck out 4 so far tonight has Bumgarner. The 2-2. That is hit well into left field, but right there is Hernandez to retire the side. But the Brewers tie the game. RBI ground ball from Braun. It's 1-1 in the 6th. time to own it. The new home of the Milwaukee Bucks opens next season, but now's the time to lock in your seats. Season ticket packages for the 2018-19 season are on sale now, so purchase yours today at foxsportswisconsin.com/events. The Fiserv Forum, new home for the Milwaukee Bucks and the Marquette Golden Eagles, I should add. Beautiful night here in San Francisco. 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Giants. Alan Hansen will lead things off. New ball game. Chase Anderson and Madison Bumgarner locked up into a 1-1 game. See the night for Hansen after popping up in the first. Four hits, all doubles off Chase. Hansen, McCutchen, and Posey in the 6th. Change up missing. 2 balls, 1 strike. It's a piece. Count is even.
This kind of weather where you feel like you can pitch all night. You know, nice and cool. There have been some games where Chase Anderson has been in the midst of a heat wave. Remember that start he had in Miami?
Oh, yeah.
Hot, humid, roof was open.
Comebacker. That's the first out of the inning.
Hey, that brings us to tonight's Tavern of the Game winners, the Frog Hop in Chippewa Falls. If they call the Brewers by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, they get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin. And Miller Lite, Chippewa Falls, home of Leinenkugel's Brewery.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
You're on it. We know our beers.
Yeah, well, are you surprised that I knew that?
Not at all, as a matter of fact.
Not much confidence in me on that one.
No, I had all the confidence in the world.
Yeah.
Hernan Perez puts that away for out number 2.
Yeah, some shandy go good right now.
Uh-huh. Any number of flavors, actually, would be very good. Here's Buster Posey with 2 outs and the base is empty. Both teams a run on 4 hits. It was 2-2 until the late innings last night.
I think Andrew McCutchen has seen 3 pitches tonight. It just popped out on the first pitch. Actually, 4 pitches.
Yeah, it's still a thing.
It's still not many.
He likes to jump on it, and that really has been the case with him tonight. A roller over to Saladino. Good clean inning for Anderson. Giants retired in order. We are through 6, and a good one going on at AT Park.
Cisco, Brewers and Giants tied at 1 as we head to the 7th. And on Saturday, August 4th, fans at Miller Park can enter a special raffle to win the jersey off of a player's back immediately after the Cruise contest against the Rockies. The players will also sign the jersey before giving it to their respective winners. So the tickets are $5 each, and the proceeds are supporting Aurora Healthcare's abuse response programs.
All right, Sophia, thank you very much. Brewer fans again in attendance. Continue to travel the fans well. And a good night going on for Chase Anderson here tonight as Joaquin Soria, the newest Brewer.
Yeah, get him right in there. Activated today. Get him right in the game.
Here's Hernan Perez leading things off. Perez, Pena, and Arcia. And then the pitcher's spot. And Hernan goes the other way in a base hit. Second straight inning now. The Brewers have the leadoff man on.
A nice piece of hitting by Hernan right there, taking it to the opposite field. I think it was a changeup. He just serves it out there in the right field. Good piece of hitting. You try and pull that one, no chance. Either swing and a miss or an easy ground out to the left side, but just guides it out there in the right field. Back-to-back innings, the Brewers have their leadoff hitter on.
Made it work in the 6th when Broxton began with an infield hit. Actually came around to score. Brewers played a little small ball. Here's Pena. He's popped up and struck out tonight. Shortens up and takes ball 1.
Might be an opportunity to drop down a bunt. You got Arcia on deck, then you're probably going to go to a pinch hitter.
Perez can run well. He's been effective as a base stealer, in case you're wondering. He's 8 out of 10 this year, but he's put together a couple of pretty good years in that department. But Pena is still showing bunt, and he's going to lay one down. And that is a textbook bunt. Here's a little backhand flip from Bumgarner. So yes, folks, the bunt still exists with position players, and that's a beautiful sacrifice.
Saw Haley's comment. You might see another one in 7 years. But it's part of the game. I mean, it's a 1-1 game, 7th inning. You got the figure you're going to hit for the pitcher here, and a beauty right down the line. And Manny's able to get the job done.
1-4. It's a beautiful thing to see. You don't see it, as Rock mentioned, about every 7 years or so. It just the philosophy of the game today. You don't like to give up the out, but you got an old-fashioned pitching duel here. Squeeze across a run any way you can. Here's Arcia. He singled his last at bat.
It's not just even asking a position player to drop down a bunt. That is not as unusual as a position player being asked to bunt and being able to execute the bunt.
Yeah, it looks easy, right? Up here, but not always. Eric Thames on deck.
Just don't do it a lot in game speed. Looks easy in batting practice.
Ball a strike to Arcia. Good night's work from Chase Anderson. Let's see if his team can grab the lead here in the top of the 7th.
A good pitch to hit right there for Arcia. 92, middle in. Arcia, a very good fastball hitter.
Hit 277 last year with the Brewers. Had some big hits early in this season, game-winning hits, as a matter of fact. Down the ball, 2 strikes.
Game-winning hit against San Diego. First series of the year, and then walked off the Cubs at Miller Park.
Also drew a bases loaded walk against Cardinals.
That's right. In St. Louis.
That's right. Part of the first road trip, or actually second road trip of the year. Reaches out and just does stay alive.
Yeah, that was off Greg Holland, who got released today by the Cardinals.
How about that?
Yeah, big news there.
Have to be a sizable addition to that ball club, and it just did not turn out that way. One and two the count. Perez, the runner at first, or make that runner at second with one out. Perez is running. Arcia taking. There is no throw. It was there to be had, and Aaron said, okay, I'll take it. That's potentially huge. 2-2 the count to Arcia.
Well, you're probably going to see the Giants bring the infield in now. Yeah, way back and really not paying much attention to him. That's a big stolen base, uncontested.
And as Rock suggested, the infield is pulled in now for the Giants. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Arcia. Shoots one over to Longoria, and no play at the plate. Running on contact was Perez. An RBI ground out from Arcia as the Brewers take the lead here in the 7th.
Well, did you see that jump that Perez had? My goodness. Good instincts, running on contact. Arcia doing a good job putting it in play, and what a jump off the third base for Hernan Perez. Well, that ball was right at Longoria. Look at this jump. Secondary lead, off and running right away, and Longoria no chance to get the runner at home. I think the angle kind of caused him not to throw to home. And he got the out at first. You can see Bumgarner visibly upset. Good job by Arcia, put it in play.
This is a beautiful exhibition, a small ball from the Milwaukee Brewers. 2 outs, bases empty for Eric Thames.
Base hit, sacrifice bunt, stolen base, ground out, and the Brewers take the lead.
Very, very nice. And Thames out to right field. McCutchen is there to put it away, and that'll do it for Milwaukee in the 7th. But last 2 innings, they've gotten the leadoff man aboard, and they have come around to score in both occasions. RBI ground ball gives Milwaukee a 2-1 lead at stretch time.
Wherever you go by picking up a limited edition Bob Uecker talking bottle opener given to all fans at the Crew's series finale against the Rockies on Sunday, August 5th, courtesy of Palermo's Frozen Pizza. For tickets, go to Brewers.com.
Well, the lines of the year for Mr. Baseball might be a twist off, but use me anyway. And now the Brewers debut for Joaquin Soria. Making the deal with the Chicago White Sox. yesterday. Veteran reliever, 16 saves, I mentioned, this season. He's into the game with the Brewers up a run in the 7th.
Yeah, really good numbers with the White Sox this year. 256, as you talked about, 16 saves. And what was impressive about his season, he only allowed 2 home runs, so keeping the ball in the ballpark nicely.
Check out those numbers right there. Eye-popping. A ball, a strike to Crawford. Here's adding to a strength of this club in the bullpen. Here's the 1-2.
Yeah, basically fastball, curveball, changeup, and right about May this year with the White Sox started to throw a slider, something new to him. But he's always had a very good curveball.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Crawford. And a bouncing ball to Perez. That is out number 1. Let's get more on the Brewers' new addition to the bullpen. Again, checking in with Sophia.
Thanks. Yeah, talking to Joaquim Soria before the game, he said it was just awesome to come over to a team contending for a playoff position. He's very excited to be joining this organization after the trade yesterday. And I asked him about that 4-pitch mix, why it's been so effective for him. And he said really coming up as a starter, that was something that he used. And he said even as a reliever, he felt he didn't want to eliminate any pitches. So he said he doesn't throw as hard as others. He doesn't have the hard velocity, but being able to move the ball around, he said, has made him really effective. And in terms of how he'll be used, Craig Counsell said we're not really going to have any set roles, but he said obviously he's going to get big outs for us. We're going to count on him. So really it's just creating more depth in a position that has already been so good for this team over the first half of the season.
You're right, Sophia. It's a, Rocky mentioned it many times, a bullpen kind of game now all across baseball. We know how good this Brewers bullpen has been. If this team is to punch a ticket into the postseason, it's going to be a huge, huge part.
Well, that's what it takes, right? I mean, you know, starting pitching is always good, but look at the teams that get deep into the postseason. It's the teams with the good bullpens.
2 strikes and nothing to Longoria. There's that curveball that's fouled off. Two-time All-Star in his days with the Royals 10 years ago, as well as 2010.
Can't have enough out-getters late in games. That's what Craig Counsell likes to call them.
Yep.
He's going to get outs for us late in games. Whether that's going to be the 7th, 8th, or 9th, who knows?
Longoria tonight, a fly ball to right and a pop-up to second. Good 6 innings of work from Chase Anderson. 4 hits and just the 1 run allowed. Single runs in innings 6 and 7 for Milwaukee. The 34-year-old with the 2-2 pitch. Sandoval is on deck. Payoff pitch to Longoria. It's a piece.
They got him to chase. 94, not too bad for Soria, who says he doesn't throw very hard anymore. Pretty good velocity for a guy that relies on command, doesn't walk many.
Just 10 through 38 2/3 this year with the White Sox. Pitched well in a couple of appearances against the Brewers in early June. Again, the 3-2. Another foul ball.
Nice to shake that fastball, too. He'll cut it a little bit. He'll sink it. That was a 2-seamer. Going down and in on Longoria.
Longoria extending this at bat. Again, the payoff, and he lost it. Third ball missed away. 1 out, 1 on in the 7th. That was the first walk of the night. Either side. Council last night went 4 deep into his bullpen. Burns, Hader, Jeffress, and Knebel in that order. Here's Sandoval. Let's look at a fastball. As a Boston Red Sox, he lost his starting job to Travis Shaw. Third base did Pablo.
I just couldn't get it going. He's grounded into 8 double plays this year as Sandoval. That's what Soria is looking for here.
2 strikes and nothing. Sandoval, the first baseman tonight for San Francisco. The 0-2.
Sandoval almost impossible to walk. This guy's only got 19 walks this year.
That's in 241 plate appearances.
Used to be a guy that was tough to strike out, but he's struck out 52 times. Switch hitter who is much better from the left side.
Couple of all-star appearances in his career, 2011 and then again a year later. The 0-2.
It's always interesting for a catcher when you catch a guy for the first time in a live game. I'd imagine that Manny Piña's never caught him before, right? Not in the bullpen, nowhere.
Little crash course, huh? The 1-2. There's that ground ball. Perez. There's Arcia 1, and that's the double play ball. Good call, Rock. Soria gets the ground ball he was looking for. 4-6-3. And the Giants are taken care of in the 7th. Nice debut for Joaquin Soria, protecting a 1-run lead for the Brew Crew. Soria in his debut gets the job done, keeping this 1-run lead for Milwaukee as we move to the top half of the 8th inning. Keon Broxton will lead things off. Garner's still in there for the Giants. Here's the 1-0. Roxton in the 6th inning got things started. Time now for StatCast AI powered by AWS. Check that out, 30.2 feet per second. 30 feet per second, that's kind of the cutoff of being elite.
A little over 4 seconds to get to first base.
Roxton pops this one up. Alan Hansen, the second baseman, will squeeze it for the first out of the inning.
And that's what speed does, right? Puts pressure on the defense, had to rush the throw, and ended up beating it and scoring a go-ahead run.
Brewers executing some small ball to get their runs off Bumgarner here tonight. Here's Christian Yelich. Another game, another occasion where Yelich gets on base multiple times. A double in the first, a walk in the 6th. In between, a ground ball to second. That was in inning number 3.
A 4-pitch walk in the 6th.
Yelich into right center field, and that's down a base hit. That's to the gap. Yelich on his way to second, and that's his second double of the night. My goodness, this guy is on fire.
Yep, got a breaking pitch, stayed on it, ripped it into the gap. That was a good job by McCutchen showing his speed. If that ball gets by him, Yelich is easily at third base. It's a long way out there into the gap in right center. That's that cutter. He made a mistake, did Bumgarner. And left it in, giving Yelich an opportunity. That might have been a curveball, actually, 79 miles an hour. And McCutchen cutting it off before Yelich could get to third.
Chance to add to the lead now for Milwaukee. Runner in scoring position for Jesus Aguilar. He looks at a cutter in there for strike 1. The 9th inning RBI last night did Aguilar. Came in handy. 2 runs, 6 hits for the Brewers, a run on 4 for the Giants. Both teams have played errorless ball.
That RBI for Aguilar, the base hit, scoring Yelich, who led off the inning with a double.
One strike and nothing to Aguilar. Waves at it.
That curveball down in the zone.
And once again, 2 strikes to Aguilar. 2 ground balls and a fly ball to right for Jesus tonight. .3 record for Bumgarner heading into this his 10th start of the year. Here's the 1-2. Got him. And that's out number 2.
Another cutter. Starts as a strike, ends up in off the plate. It's kind of been the story with that cutter for Bumgarner this year. And the Brewers just haven't been able to lay off of it. Much easier said than done, though.
Here's Ryan Braun.
And see how careful Bumgarner is going to be here with Ryan. Saladino on deck.
Third ball for strike 1. Scoring single last night for Braun gave the Brewers the lead. Tied the game here tonight. Garcia put him ahead with an RBI ground ball in the 7th. Two strikes and nothing. mentioned earlier tonight, Ryan has a couple of home runs against Bumgarner. This has been a night where it's been more small ball, though, for Milwaukee, at least to this point. 2-strike pitch. And that's a base hit into right field. Here comes Yelich, and a huge 2-out RBI knock for Ryan Braun. It's a 3-1 ball game.
Yep, stayed back nicely. He was able to keep those hands back and dump that curveball into right field. You got to wonder why you go after Braun in a situation like that. I mean, as hard as he's hit the baseball tonight against Bumgarner. Breaking pitch down in the zone on Badger Mutual Insurance run of the game. Ryan Braun drives in Yelich, who had a 1-out double.
Two-run lead now for Milwaukee as Saladino is at the plate.
Just such a good piece of hitting by Braun. He was out in front a little bit, but kept the hands back, able to get enough of it to line it out there. 2 big RBIs for Ryan Braun tonight.
Hit number 7 for Milwaukee. This team has just been able to chip away at one of the best in the business, Madison Bumgarner. It's 0-2 to Tyler Saladino. He was making a couple of swaps with the White Sox this season. Saladino, of course, the first. Back early in the season. And we got Tyler from Chicago, April 19th, as a matter of fact.
Swarzak last year. Didn't they pick up Junior Guerra from the White Sox? They released him?
Yep, first acquisition made by David Stern. So
White Sox have been good to the crew.
Yes, they have.
Yeah.
Saladino sends one into center field. That's Steven Duggar, and that'll do it for Milwaukee in the 8th. But Yelich gets things started with a double. And Ryan Braun has a 2 RBI night, including this run-scoring single to give the Milwaukee Brewers a 3-1 lead in the 8th. All right, Daria, thank you very much. A 3-1 lead here for the Brew Crew as the Giants come calling in the home half of the 8th. Gorkys Hernandez will lead things off. New pitcher on the mound here for Milwaukee, Jeremy Jeffress now on the hill.
Yeah, kind of a struggle for Jeremy in last night's ball game. Had to be taken out, could not finish an inning. That is a rare bird indeed for Jeremy. 49th appearance for Jeffress. Much sharper so far tonight.
Curveball has him ahead of the count, 0-2 to Hernandez. Hernandez, a pinch hitter, and Steven Duggar here for the Giants. Jeremy trying to get some things turned around. Rock mentioned last night he's actually given up runs in 3 of his last 4 appearances. That goes back to that Pirates series just before the All-Star break.
Yeah, a couple of walks for Jeremy last night, unusual for him.
Here's the 0-2. Trying to bust him inside.
Matter of fact, the 2 walks came to the first 2 hitters. Not a good way to start off an inning.
Two and two now to Hernandez. Chase Anderson with the first 6. 4-hit, 1-run ball. Joaquin Soria worked the 7th. Issued a walk, but then got a double play ground ball from Pablo Sandoval. Here's the 2-2. Hanging tough.
A couple of 96-mile-an-hour fastballs. The first one down the middle, that one up and in.
Did a job of fighting that off. 11 home runs. He's driven in 30. For this season, he had a career total of 8 home runs, and Jeffress gets him swinging for out number 1 in the 8th.
Yeah, big move and down and in. Good pitch, another 96-mile-an-hour. 2-seamer. Look at this one, bored down and in. And Hernandez right over the top of it. Good pitch. Good movement with big velocity. Well done.
One away as Jeffress now will face the pinch hitter, Austin Slater. Was in the lineup last night, playing first base, which I'll try to get him some work in the minor leagues at that position. He had trouble on a hard ground ball from Christian Yelich. They talked about around here being one of the key moments in the ball game.
When you talk about key moments in a ball game, how often has it been you're not talking about a Yelich at bat?
You're right.
That's kind of the way it's been with him. I mean, he's been unbelievable lately.
About hot of a hitter as there is in the game right now. 0-2 to Slater. Jeffress just pumping it in there. Another one at 97.
Fastballs and curveballs. Hasn't thrown that split change yet.
Remains 0-2. Here it comes. Got him again. Back-to-back strikeouts. Busting him in. Another one in the upper 90s. 2 up, 2 down.
Yeah, 97 this time, and that's more like Jeremy Jeffress as opposed to last night. Look at the movement. It started on the inside corner. Look how far in off the plate it ended up. That rare combination of velocity and movement for Jeremy.
Two outs, no one on. Top of the order now for the Giants. Steven Duggar. He struck out twice. He is grounded to short. Four hits for the Giants and a walk. Back-to-back doubles in the second inning. The 1 run so far. There's Posey and Crawford with the doubles, and there is a bouncer up the middle and a 2-out single for Duggar.
Got that one up right down the heart of the plate, and Duggar able to shoot it right back into center field. Good piece of hitting, stayed right on it. And that tying run comes to the plate.
Hit number 5 for the Giants, and here's Alan Hansen. Couple of seasons with the Pirates, was also with the White Sox for a time last year. Bochy's team, a 500 ball club. Had their struggles offensively. Both teams obviously have had their ups and downs, but the Brewers through that have had very good pitching. They're 13 games above 500.
Both of these teams have had to endure injuries, but the Brewers have been able to cover them a little bit better, especially offensively.
Break-even pitch to Hansen. 1 and 2.
And a couple of curveballs. This one in the dirt. Good block by Manny.
Jeffress with strikeouts of Hernandez and Slater. 2-out single from Duggar. Brewers bullpen, 3rd best ERA in the National League. The 1-2. There's a base hit. The Giants making some noise after back-to-back strikeouts.
Well, made him look bad on a couple of curveballs and went right back to the fastball, doing him a favor. And Hansen, good 2-strike hitting, able to find the hole in the right. Didn't get it in far enough. Looking really bad on curveballs. Gives him a fastball that he can hit.
Well, that sets the table for McCutchen. He has been attacking early.
He's only seen 4 pitches tonight in 3 at-bats.
He does like to go after that first pitch. Not successful with it. Well, actually, a double in the checkmate. Not successful with it tonight, but you see the numbers against the Brewers. Going after the first pitch this season coming into the game, McCutchen was 14 for 31. 452. Back-to-back 2-out singles from Steven Duggar and Alan Hansen. McCutchen lays off a high fastball. Ten homers, he's driven in 43. Here's the 1-0. Almost hit him.
Well, he tied the first 2 pretty easily, and it's been a struggle since. Back-to-back days for Jeremy. This one not even close. McCutchen can turn on anybody's fastball, particularly when he's looking for it, and he'll be looking for one here.
The 2-0. Fastball missed low. This has gotten a lot more interesting than what Jeffress would like.
Well, didn't get the call at the bottom of the zone.
Three balls, no strikes. And a 4-pitch walk. They're loaded for Buster Posey.
Just like that. Wow. Looked like a world beater, first two hitters. Couple of mistakes on fastballs. And then a 4-pitch walk to Andrew McCutchen. Tying run at second base.
Brewers bullpen, there you see it. Nothing going on. This is Jeffress' show in the 8th inning. Brewers All-Star will be facing a very tough customer with Giants everywhere. Buster Posey.
That'll be the last guy you want to face in this spot. Buster Posey.
See his night coming into the game. His average with runners in scoring position has been very good. 328 coming into tonight's game. And in a big spot right now against the Brewers All-Star. Singles from Steven Duggar and Alan Hansen. A walk to McCutchen. Bouncing ball is foul.
Yeah, he was all over that first pitch after a 4-pitch walk. Incredible numbers for Buster Posey against Milwaukee.
Now the bullpen gets active. Taylor Williams is up. But Posey belongs to Jeremy Jeffress. The 1-strike pitch. Blow by. It's 0-2.
The same pitch that he used to get the 2 strikeouts. That late movement going down and in. Posey over the top of it.
Duggar, Hansen, and McCutchen at third, second, and first, respectively. 2 strikes or nothing to Buster Posey. Here it comes. Mentioned it many times with Jeffress. He inherits a mess a lot. Let's see if he can get out of this one. The 1-2. Curve missed.
It's not close enough. You get that over the plate, I think you get the swing. A little bit too far off the corner. Well, you go with the curveball and risk going to 3-2. Probably going to see a fastball.
The 2-2 pitch. A little chopper. Saladino leaning over. Jeffress works out of it. Got himself into a tight spot and gets a ground ball from Buster Posey as the Giants leave him loaded. 3-1 Brew Crew after 8. General manager Neil Huntington the week before the All-Star game saying it's a big week here determining what we may or may not do as the month of July hits its conclusion. But the Pirates team has fought its way right back into it. That's how it looks in the National League Central. And the Pirates team is getting into the wild card chase. Round to make up in the Central. Got a lot of teams, a lot to play for in these final 2 months, including the two teams you're watching here. Sam Dyson now on the mound in relief of Madison Bumgarner.
Yeah, good numbers for Dyson. Look at that, 50 appearances, 290 earned run average. Oh, what a job by Jeremy Jeffress. He stuck with a fastball to get Posey, beat it into the ground. And you mentioned he comes into a mess a lot, but he's created his own mess last couple of days.
He did. Good Posey. Those are moments that Posey lives for. But you know what? Maybe they're moments that Jeffress lives for too. And Perez leading off here for the Brewers in the top of the ninth.
Yeah, if you're the Giants, you couldn't ask for a better situation, right?
And the best in the game. Perez singled, came around to score in the 7th inning. And they're now with a ground ball to Brandon Crawford for out number 1. Check out the Powerball home run counts. So Kane doing his part. Brewers hit a lot of them, 130 so far this season, tied for 3rd best in the National League. Jesus Aguilar with 25 of his own. Home run has been a huge part of the offense for the Brewers this season. 30, the Powerball home run count.
Yeah, last couple of days, though, it's been situational hitting, advancing base runners. The Brewers actually had a position player bunt tonight.
That was Manny Pena laying down the bunt and rounds out hard. A nice play required by Hansen to get out number 2.
Yeah, hit it pretty hard, but Hansen able to flag it down, gets down on the ground, and able to throw him out.
Here is Orlando Arcia. Getting some work done at the plate tonight is Orlando. RBI ground ball in the 7th, gave Milwaukee the lead. That's sharply hit on a hop to Hansen. Sam Dyson has a 1-2-3 9th inning. Corey Knebel is up and ready to go. 3-1 Brewers. Home half of the 9th we go. playing some small ball tonight. They take a 3-1 lead as we move to the bottom of the 9th inning here at AT Park. We try to take the first 2 games of this series, and again, Craig Counsell will call on Corey Knebel to finish it off.
Yeah, back-to-back days for Corey Knebel, ending in the 3rd yesterday. Yeah, 13 out of 16, earned run average 4.08. Bottom half of the Giants order coming up. Craig Counsell has said he wants to get Knebel a little bit more work. He feels as though he stays a little bit sharper when he works a little bit more. Here he is again.
Brandon Crawford leads things off. And tries a fastball and misses. Crawford, Longoria, and Sandoval in the 9th for the Giants. 1 on 6 hits for San Francisco. Crawford an RBI double in the 2nd inning. Travis Shaw now in at 3rd for Milwaukee.
Seems like the more work that Knebel gets, the better his curveball is. We'll see how it is tonight.
There's our first look at it. Gets it ahead in the count. Soria and Jeremy Jeffress preceded Knebel out of the bullpen here tonight. The 1-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Tried the fastball and missed away. Payoff pitch to the Giants shortstop. Fastball, and Shaw gets tested right away. That's out number 1. Let's check out Miller Lite's What's on Tap. The series continuing tomorrow night. Yoeli Chacin on the mound for the Brewers. Johnny Cueto hits the ball for San Francisco. Our coverage starts tomorrow night with Brewers Live at 7:30 right here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Chacin, what a story he has been for the Brew Crew this year.
All the Brewers do when he's on the mound is win.
That's right. He takes every turn. Here's Evan Longoria. Chase Anderson, 6 strong innings tonight. We've seen the Brewers debut of Joakim Soria. Knebel rearing back and letting it go.
Nothing wrong with velocity after multiple innings yesterday. 4 outs last night for Knebel.
Looking for save number 14. 2-strike pitch. Fly to right, a pop up to second, and a walk for Longoria in the 7th inning. The 1-2. That is out number 2. Blew it by him at 98. 2 up, 2 down in the 9th.
Stayed hard on him, up in the zone. Good pitch by Corey. He's only thrown 1 curveball this inning, but a blow by to Evan Longoria. That's where you want it, up and in. Awfully difficult to get a bat on 98 up there.
Well, the Giants down to their final out. Pablo Sandoval at the plate. Knebel elevates again for strike 1. curveball has him up 2 strikes or nothing. Well, it was a bumpy ride for Corey last night. He was trying to make quick work of the Giants here in the 9th this evening.
A much better command tonight. He's been able to land 2 curveballs. Able to put the fastball where he wants it.
Oh, and 2 to Pablo Sandoval. Abel trying to put him away. Sandoval lays off the pitch away. Here's the 1-2. Down the line and out of play. Sandoval's last at bat, he came up against Joaquim Soria in the 7th inning after Longoria walked, and Soria got Sandoval to roll into a 4-6-3 inning ending double play. Abel again loading up for the 1-2 pitch. In the air to center. And the Brewers have taken the first 2 games of the series here in San Francisco. Knebel sets him down in order in the 9th. He picks up his 14th save of the year as the Brewers, via some small ball, get a 2-run win here tonight.
By incredible pitching. It all started with Chase Anderson on his game tonight, and you talked about it. And we've been talking about it for 2 days now. You're not going to hit a lot of home runs, out here in San Francisco. Brewers doing just enough to win tonight. Great bullpen work once again.
Good ball game here tonight. Ryan Braun delivering. Christian Yelich remains red hot at the plate as the Brewers win it 3-1. Let's send it to our Fox Sports Wisconsin studio. Dario Melendez ready to go with Brewers Live.